Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and we are 1 week away from WrestleMania 41, live from Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, which is why I am wearing the SummerSlam 2021 t-shirt for this video, as it was the last time that the WWE was at Allegiant Stadium. And I want to talk about the match card, as the WWE on SmackDown did confirm which matches will take place on which night. And I want to talk about that and talk about potential other matches that maybe might be added. Like maybe Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa, which, meh. So let's go ahead, break it all down here. Night 1, WrestleMania. We know the Night 1 main event is CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And remember, Paul Heyman is accompanying CM Punk to ringside for this match, not Roman Reigns. We saw last week on Monday, Seth Rollins told Paul Heyman to remove himself from the situation and that he'd be happy to do it for him. And when he teased a curb stomp onto Paul Heyman, he didn't do it and told him he would owe him a favor. We'll see Roman, Seth, and Punk on Raw on Monday, the go-home show. So what will happen? What twists will we see on Monday, potentially, as this will be the final time we do see these three before WrestleMania. Then, of course, you have Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, going against World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Look, I've always said from the beginning, the problem with the Royal Rumble is the way the WWE always books the match. Because they always say, oh, the winner of the Rumble main event WrestleMania. Well, that's not the case. When you have two world championships, that's not the case. So, just say that you're going to get a title shot. That's where a lot of this discourse and hate for Jey Uso comes from, is the fact that the expectation is the winner of the Rumble does main event WrestleMania, and we've seen in the past the winner of the Rumble has not main evented WrestleMania. I've always felt that Jey Uso Gunther was going to probably be the opening match to Night 1 or Night 2, and it is now official, it is Night 1, as the WWE does most likely want that image, that video footage feeling of the entire Allegiant Stadium and the whole entire Las Vegas Strip yeeting after Jey Uso wins. And Jey Uso winning, to open the show and to really, set the vibes for the rest of the show, get the crowd energized. I've always felt that was kind of what this match was going to be. And sticking with the Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton for the women's, for the WWE Women's Championship. And, before SmackDown started, there was a video footage of Charlotte and Tiffany brawling in the parking lot. And Charlotte Flair was apparently sent home for the week. But that, of course, was not the case, as Tiffany Stratton had a match against, surprise, Roxanne Perez, who still does not have a match for Stand and Deliver. Somehow. But what I do know is Charlotte Flair did come back after Tiffany won and beat her up a little bit. And it was weird that Wade Barrett was trying to separate them. So I guess we'll kind of see where all this leads, and probably to Charlotte Flair winning. But if it is true that there's backstage heat on Charlotte and for going off script and stuff, maybe Tiffany might pull out the win. But we'll have to see. Sticking with the women, you got Jade versus Naomi. Then you have the World Tag Team Championships on the line with the Viking Raiders and against the New Day. And LA Knight, defends his U.S. title against Jacob Fatu, who sent a message loud and clear tonight at the end of SmackDown that he is coming for that United States Championship at WrestleMania next Saturday. And of course, the debut of El Grande Americano against Rey Mysterio. Now look, I like most people am disappointed that Chad Gable did not make this WrestleMania card, but clearly the WWE must have high hopes for this. I have to kind of look at my computer screen here. El Grande Americano. I'm still trying to get used to the name. El Grande Americano character in this luchador that's burst onto the scene. I think this is the quickest a newcomer has ever had a WrestleMania match from his debut to WrestleMania. So they must have high hopes. I'm assuming Rey's going to put him over. Because of that, like, why would you not have Rey put over this new young up-and-coming luchador? Moving on to night 2 again. Of course, we know the main event there. Cody Rhodes against John Cena for the WWE Championship. And again, will The Rock show up? Like, come on, bro. Like, are you going to be there to congratulate John Cena if he wins? Like, are we going to get any payoff to this whole selling his soul storyline? What likely will be the opener for night 2, the women's triple threat match for the women's world title between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. We got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. The match that was made official tonight on SmackDown, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will defend their women's tag team title against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who I will get into in a minute when I talk about Chelsea Green. And you got the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker defends against Penta, Finn Balor, Judgment, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And what we expected to be added to the card was Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. And they even added a stipulation, Sin City Street Fight. Now, I don't know about you, but can we get Drew and Damian to fight like outside of the arena, like on the actual Vegas Strip? Can we at least live up to the moniker of a street fight gimmick here? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the full card for WrestleMania 41. Yes, there's a lot of people that are left off the card. Randy Orton, obviously, you know, he basically teased that Nick Aldis might be his opponent by saying that, hey, he didn't care who he fought. You know, he even said, hey, Nick, why don't you take the suit off and put your tights back on? And again, I did talk about this in the video earlier where I did name Nick Aldis as a potential opponent. And tonight on SmackDown, we had Randy Orton teaming with LA Knight against Solo and Tama Tonga. We saw Randy Orton Solo kind of brawl at the end there. I get it. People also want to see Solo on the WrestleMania card, but I don't want to see him against Randy. But also, it kind of does help with the fact that Orton is probably going to be fighting John Cena or Cody Rhodes at St. Louis at Backlash St. Louis. So Randy does need someone he can get a win over. Plus, if Jacob Fatu wins the United States title and then Jacob Fatu loses to Orton, that's going to set off the jealousy between Solo and Jacob even more. So that could play into that. And also the SmackDown Tag Team titles, you know, for months I think we've been saying this is going to be a multi-man ladder match. And right now it's going to be a match on SmackDown. Like, the New Day versus the War Raiders, literally, I just feel like came together in like 1 or 2 weeks. And they're on the WrestleMania card. But they've been building this SmackDown tag division for like what, the past 4 or 5 months, and the best they can do is the SmackDown before WrestleMania. Now look, on SmackDown tonight, they did do a little segment with DIY, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Pretty Deadly, and then Street Profits, Miz and Carmelo. They did hint, kind of, that maybe we could still get a multi-man match, that maybe a SmackDown Tag Team title match might still happen, because I'm fully expecting, like, DIY to get involved, cause a disqualification, and then Nick Aldis, and then probably Pretty Deadly, and then maybe Miz and Carmelo, and then that's how we get the SmackDown Tag titles taking place at WrestleMania, and this is kind of like thrown together last second. But I also wonder at that point that if this does become a multi-man ladder match, we already have a stacked card. Are they going to have enough time for a proper ladder match? So, yeah. Also, the lack of the women's mid-card titles is another thing that I don't like about this. Because Lyra, I get it, she's teaming with Bayley going for the tag team titles. But you brought in these titles and they're not being defended at WrestleMania. Like, you don't have them being defended at WrestleMania. Like that's like the most not mind-numbing thing to me. Like, why would you bring in these titles but you have no real plans with them, other than to just like have them there for whatever, right? So, I mean, I was kind of hoping that the Secret Service, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire would have actually beaten Bayley and Lyra, so we could get Bayley turning on Lyra, setting up Bayley versus Lyra for the Women's Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, while Alba Fire, Piper Niven fought Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And yeah, it's heel versus heel, but let's be honest, I think because of Chelsea Green and the fans really like Chelsea, they probably could turn them face and it would probably work so well. And Chelsea, she had a match against Selena Vega. Selena Vega won by a countout. Now she's in a 6-woman tag team match next week on SmackDown. Again, not defending her U.S. title. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think of the rundown for WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2. Leave a comment below. And before I go, again, I will be going to WrestleMania. I leave Tuesday to fly out to Vegas. I bought a new camera. I'm going to be vlogging all week in Vegas. I'll be posting those videos to my YouTube channel. So, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button, as I do produce weekly wrestling content on this channel. And of course, you don't want to miss the fun that will be WrestleMania week. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching. I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.